So, I was homeschooled. Homeschooled? Does that mean? Wait, I feel like somebody did this already. So it's true, I was homeschooled. I admit it, I'm sorry everyone. Probably the major argument against homeschooling is this: how are they gonna get prepared for the real world? And you know, I actually worried about this myself whenever I was homeschooled. I was like, wow, am I really not getting prepared enough for the real world? And then I went to college, and then I grew up, and I realized that, yeah, sure, I learned some stuff in college, and it's great and all, but there are some things in my life that prepared me for the real world way more than school ever did. Here's 4. Number 1, starting a YouTube channel. Yeah, it's true, I've talked about this before, but I have to emphasize it. Starting a YouTube channel is the best education I have ever had. If you have any desire to get into any sort of art, photography, sound design, video editing, public speaking, start a YouTube channel. Just do it, it's free. I mean, you could even use like your iPhone now. Start a YouTube channel. Just do it. Number 2, driver's ed. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised that I put this on the list. I don't know where my head was whenever I wrote this, but it's true. I drive all the time. In my state, at the time that I was learning to drive, it wasn't mandatory that I took driver's ed. Yet, my mom sent me to driver's ed. Maybe she was worried that I would like, you know, get distracted, start eating candy or something and forget that I was driving because of my ADHD, and so she sent me to a privatized driver's ed, and I'm so glad she did. It was weird at driver's ed because they had this cop come in and he showed me like all these like scary pictures of like people who like died in car wrecks, and it was so gross that I actually had to walk out because I was gonna throw up. It made me very conscious and aware, and I was like, oh, I better pay attention in this class, and I did. I see people breaking the law and not following the rules all the time. Number 3, get a job as a teenager. When I was 16, I went into Bojangles and I was like, hey, can I get a job? And they hired me, and I worked there for 3 years. I learned a lot of new vocabulary words, but I'm glad that I know those things, that I'm aware, and I know not to say them, so I don't sound like some naive idiot. Hey, what does this word mean? Excuse me, that's an extremely offensive word. And I'm like, I didn't know because I was homeschooled. But I also learned work ethic and the value of being on time and how I'm not as important as sometimes I think I am, and working on a team, and I could go on. I could go on and on and on and on and on. What was I saying? Number 4, go to a foreign country. During the summer between my freshman and sophomore year of college, I went to this country in South America called Argentina. I didn't know how American I truly was until I went to another country. I'm sure anybody who saw me while I was in Argentina at that time was like, what an idiot. This guy's loud and obnoxious, and he just doesn't respect our culture. And I was so dumb. And it made me think about myself and the way that I thought, and I saw places where people are way poorer than anybody here in the United States. It also made me think a lot about my faith because it's a country where there are a lot of superstitions and people who just do things, and you ask them, hey, so why do you do that thing? And they're like, well, I don't know, it just, maybe it protects me, I'm not sure. It's just what my parents did. And I realized that I do that sort of stuff too. And it made me a humbler, better person, and I'm so glad that I did it. And I think that every single person in America, if we would just go to another country and have an open mind, it would teach us so much, and it will prepare you for the real world. Puedo hablar en español. Estoy aprendiendo de a poco. Entonces, voy a usar español nada más. Ciao! Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching Say Goodnight Kevin. If you liked this episode, hit the like button. Also subscribe, and I'll tell you all kinds of stuff. Also, I'd like to say thank you to LegacyandWealth.com and Matthew Bird and Brandon Neely. They pledge $50 a month to watch this show keep on going at patreon.com/SayGoodnightKev. And they get a little bit out of it, like they get me saying their name at the end of every episode. And there's other cool gifts that I'm giving you, including this show. Go check it out. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Good night.